Yeah, but I took that language class in high school and used Google Translate, and it was all wrong.
Well, that's your fucking problem. You used Google Translate, you idiot. Before my alarm sounds, I blink open my eyes and hop out of bed. Anime Con is today! Fuck yeah! And I can't think of a better person to go with than Kaori. I quickly get ready, then scavenge the fridge for food. I need to stock up on calories, so my pockets won't be gouged by overpriced mediocre venue food. Oh yeah, we need to stock up on lots of calories for our date with Kaori. Nikki is working at the restaurant today, and Uncle Kaito and Aunt Yuki have gone on some sort of trip together. Ooh. I really don't know where, but they were in even more of a hurry to leave than I am. Probably on the first flight to Paris to be in a romantic environment, because they're like at the start of a new relationship again, kind of, even though they've been married before, or actually are still married, but they took a little bit of a break or had a rough patch, but the rough patch is over, so they're back to being bunny rabbits. As I eat, I browse my tablet and check out the different options for the con today. There are panels held by all sorts of people, cosplay contest, and lots of merchandise for purchase. I wish I could check out everything. Once I'm done speaking, I clean up, then drive myself to the train station. Kaori waits on the platform. Hey Kaori, my favorite anime girl! She turns around at the sound of my voice and smiles. Hey, look at you, all snappy and jazzy.
Hey.
All ready to go?
Of course! I mapped out the most effective way to see all the best panels and guest stars, while still leaving time to browse around the marketplace.
Dang, she's got it all planned out. I'm a tiny bit disappointed that she didn't decide to cosplay as anything, but, she already kind of dressed up during Halloween, so it's fine. Is there a situation where she doesn't have to strategize? Still, I did say I wanted to hit as much as possible. Sounds like a game plan. Soon, our train pulls into the station, and we quiet down as we get on. The hum of the motor makes me sleepy, and my eyes droop. Kaori stares out of the window. I wonder what she's thinking. She probably wants an autograph from all the Ninja Rangers. After a lengthy ride, we arrive in a city and head to the convention center. The first thing I notice is the sheer number of people. I feel like I'm back in New York. After living in Izokaze for so long, I've almost forgotten what a crowded room feels like. Yeah, I mean, the environment looks exactly the same. I drink in the sights and sounds. The constant buzz of laughter and chatter hangs heavy in the air and circles around the lines of booths. I try to read all the posters, especially the ones with cute girls on them. I don't think we're trying to read them. Suddenly, Kaori grabs my arm, and I jilt back to reality, already feeling guilty. Hey, they're just make-believe girls on posters, okay? That's not called cheating at all. She wasn't paying attention to me though, as she points to a group of cosplayers dressed as Ninja Rangers. Oh yeah!
Look!
Oh, let's take a picture with them. We gotta take a picture with them. Go get a picture with them!
You don't think they'll mind?
Of course not. That's the thing. I feel like I've never cosplayed before as anything ever, but when I was at Anime Con, there are some people actually just like whenever they were dressed as something, Part of it, like if you go on a picture with them, it's kind of like a compliment to them. Like, oh, I like your cosplay, or your cosplay looks really cool. I want to take a picture with you. That's kind of a compliment. So I actually think they like it a lot. I think they'd enjoy the attention.
Okay.
Boom, let's go. She seems giddy as she practically bounces over to the group. I see them all grin and nod enthusiastically, and Kaori motions for me to take a photo. As I pull out my phone, the Rangers surround Kaori, and each strikes their character's signature pose. It's like I'm looking at a real Ninja Rangers poster, and Kaori in the middle.
Thanks, guys.
They give her a thumbs up, seemingly pleased with themselves. Kaori returns and looks at the picture.
That actually came out pretty well.
Yeah, are you surprised that I'm a good photographer? My girlfriend actually complains that I'm bad at taking pictures, which is kind of true, but she's actually just way better than me at it, so comparatively I'm really bad. She doesn't have to sound so surprised. I'm an expert photographer.
Oh, sorry. I probably should have asked if you wanted your photo taken.
It's fine. You know, I enjoyed the moment through you vicariously. I shake my head. It's fine. I'm just here to soak in the environment. She nods, then grabs my hand.
Come on, let's go check out the first panel on our list.
Alright, lead the way, my lady. Kaori seems to know exactly where she's going as she drags me through the crowd. Finally, we stop before a big sign that says, "How to make visual novels!" Oh, I want to be there too. Let me be there too. I don't know if we're in a club though, but okay. I didn't know you liked visual novels. She shrugs.
I guess it never came up.
Ah, that's true. It's not something you usually talk about with other people who you think don't have a similar interest. It's not one of those conversation starters, you know, hey, you like visual novels? It's kind of more of a unknown or underground-ish game genre, I guess. I bet Kaori plays them for the same reason I do. They're fan service. She must enjoy the storyline. Obviously, it's for the character because hentai. Knowing Kaori, it's probably not hentai. But it's got, I mean, I usually always enjoy the storylines. So that's the main reason for me always. That's really, I swear to God, guys, that's the main reason I play visual novels. I always enjoy the storylines. Good characters are definitely always a bonus. But I feel like the storyline is like priority number one. If there's a very good story, awesome. If it has good characters, that makes the story even better as well. And you know, if there's some fan service in there, as long as it's, you know, fitting, then I don't mind it either. Actually, I encourage and I enjoy it, and like, fuck yeah, boobs. I haven't played too many, but what I enjoy about them is that they focus a lot on creating an interesting storyline and plot. Plot? Kaori nods excitedly.
Yes, exactly. Most games focus so much on player controls and character manipulation that they forget all about the storyline.
Boom!
I like that visual novels are the opposite of that, and give the player free reign to choose how they want the story to go.
Well, they're making it sound like you can really decide what's going to happen in the story, where that's not really exactly the case. Like, sure, you have options throughout the game, but you have, like, you know, it's a bit different. I understand what she's trying to say, but it's not as, where a lot of different combination of choices actually you know, end up in having a different ending, which results in, like, let's say 20 plus endings or 20 plus different endings, you know? That, I feel like it's pretty hard for a story game to have a good overall story while also having 20 completely different endings. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely an enjoyable part for me as well about visual novels, just sort of the fact that you can at least feel you have some sort of control, especially with your choices and whatnot, so yeah, definitely. Fist bump Kaori. Kaori plays video games and likes them? This is even more surprising than learning she likes anime.
Anyway, I think learning how to make a visual novel would be interesting.
Oh, sign me up, baby. It would be. Let's go find good seats. Let's hope that they teach us all. Kaori nods and we head inside. Before long, the room fills up and the panelists take their seats in front of the room.
Hello everyone, I'm Dishu from Pixel Fate, and these are my colleagues.
Pixel Fate, that's actually the developers from these particular visual novel. Did they actually make a cameo in their own visual novel? That's actually kind of funny. The team in turn introduces themselves as Katie, Sunimu, right? Yeah, Sunimu, Rishu, and Chris. Hey, I'm there too!
So, who is ready to make a visual novel?
Me, I want to make a visual novel! The crowd cheers in affirmation. I look over at Kaori, who watches attentively.
Let's talk about how to make a school slice-of-life romance visual novel.
Is that really his real voice? Because it kind of seems like he talks like, let's talk about, like he has kind of his nasally, whiny voice.
We have a 4-step approach to this. First, you should pick popular character tropes for the romance options and make them all into waifu material.
Well, yeah, they definitely did a good job with that here in Ace Academy.
I would highly recommend including at least one tsundere archetype since it seems to be a popular choice.
Yep, yeah, definitely.
Secondly, make sure you have an abundance of comedy. Clever fourth wall breaking may be appropriate.
This is a perfect example of that, you know, clever fourth wall breaking.
Thirdly, you want to make sure the player is engaged. Give them choices so they feel immersed and active in the world.
Definitely. This Gashu, right? Or what? Did I say Gashu? This Dishu guy is right. I don't know about. I feel like yeah, and like in a particular type of visual novel, and especially if he's talking about Ace Academy, definitely applies. I nod. He raises some good points.
And lastly, you must include words and phrases like Oni-chan, Sugoi desu ne, Senpai, and Baka at every possible opportunity.
Baka! I mean, we heard Oni-chan. We never heard Sugoi desu ne, or did we hear Senpai? We might have heard Senpai with one of the girls that say like Akira Senpai, maybe. I'm pretty sure they never said Baka though. I expected, definitely, Kaori to say Baka at least 20 times already by now, but she didn't. Well, she just said the English variation, idiot, but still.
If people start saying your project is for weeboos, then you're on the path to success.
Well, weeaboos unite! The panel continues, and each person's elaborates on their specific role. They provide a lot of insider information, and the crowd seems to be enjoying it. It's refreshing to see that, although these guys take their craft seriously, they certainly don't take themselves seriously. Additional to this, they provide inside information about budgeting for indie development. We learn that sometimes compromises have to be made due to limited resources, such as black silhouettes instead of full sprites for extra characters, or even cameo characters. Yeah, so that's the reason for having these black silhouettes instead of. I mean, the thing I actually have kind of read up a little bit about this particular project, and it was in early access before for quite a while, and then they released it by like episode by episode. There are 4 episodes in total, but yeah, like they actually made this particular visual novel way longer than they had to, which is why I like the ending. Actually, the more I thought about it, it's like it seems to kind of end abruptly. I feel like it tries to add this sudden story into it with like the dad and the overdrive part of it, but like that's only a focus in the beginning a little bit when overdrive actually activates, and then we start to wonder like, huh, why did that happen? Then throughout the rest of the story is like all slice of life. We don't really hear much about it. Well, I mean, Valerie tries to. I feel like that's might actually be the reason why Valerie as a character was added, because she only appeared at the beginning of episode 2. But she was definitely the girl that sort of, that focused more on that part of the story, because she was our engineer. She tried to, figure out what the overdrive part of our gear was and whatnot. So I feel like that's probably the reason why she was added a bit later. She was probably not part of the original cast, but once they decided to go for that plot line of the story, then they decided, alright, we need a character to facilitate that, and then they added Valerie. But yeah, anyway, what was my original point? Fuck, I forgot. Anyway, it's like, they didn't intend for it to be this long, so they like stretched their resources as much as possible while trying to make it, trying to make the game as long as possible as well. But nevertheless, like, I can understand that for any company, it's definitely hard to utilize all of your limited resources as much as possible. So that's part of the reason why the black silhouettes didn't bother me as much either. I haven't seen it too often in any other visual novel either, I think. But it's just, it's one of those things, it actually does cost more money, especially for an indie developer. Like, imagine if you're using only, or you have to create a full sprite for a character that's only going to appear once or twice during small scenes only. Like, that's still resources, time, and eventually money as well that's being put into something that eventually won't be used that much. So, you have to make sacrifices as an indie developer, blah 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 blah, enough about game design and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I feel like it's a nice insight from them as well. They're sneaking it in there, and I actually kind of like it. It's nice to sort of hear their understanding and the reasoning for it, basically. The issue reassures us that as developers, you can trust your fan base to understand.
That's it from us. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Nishukan. The crowd claps as they exit. Kaori and I also head out. What'd you think? She perks up.
It was really good. They covered a broad range of subjects.
I agree. Alright, time to make our own visual novel, Kaori. Agreed. So, what's next on the agenda?
Well, I'm looking forward to the panel with singer Amelie.
Amelie?
It's not for another hour, though. So, let's go explore the market.
God dang, I don't know who Amelie is. Sounds good to me. There's always usually a reference to an actual... Whoa! Damn! This looks buzzing and pretty cool. But they usually reference to like actual characters, you know? But I don't know who the hell Amelie is. We head off to the marketplace and browse all the booths. There's merchandise ranging from mangas, wall scrolls, cosplay, mock weapons, artwork, and tons more. Dang, I know, right, girl? This is like heaven. Kaori squeals and darts to one of the stalls. She picks up a stuffed yellow thingy with red cheeks and squeezes it close to her cheek.
Pikachu! He's so cute!
Pikachu! I stare at her. The last time I saw her like this was after a certain victory party and too many shots. Kaori notices my stare, then blushes and puts down the stuffed Pikachu.
If you're into that sort of thing.
I mean, I love Pikachu. Get it for her as a gift. I'll be bankrupt if I buy everything she ends up liking. We can always get it later. No, let's buy it for it. I mean, you don't see her like that often, you know? That means she really likes it. So we should definitely buy it for her as a gift. I pick up Pikachu again and bounce it atop her head, so it looks like it's giving her a hug. I look straight into her eyes. It's adorable. She blushes. I turn to the vendor. How much?
Wait, I can pay for it.
Shh, no, Kaori, it's okay. No.
Really? You don't...
No, I do. No! I quickly tap my card against the reader before Kaori can pull out her own card. Haha, I paid first. She pouts and looks like she wants to argue again. I put the Pikachu in front of my face and pretend it's talking. Don't make that face at Hugh. He's just being nice. Then I use the Pikachu to try and hug her face. She dodges, but I am relentless. I can hear her giggle. Come on, hug the Pikachu.
Stop.
I grin and hand the gift to her. She smiles and squeezes it against her chest. Did she say thank you? I didn't hear it. We wander around the marketplace for a while longer and spent equal time checking out people's cosplay as well as the booths. We found Pixel Fates' stall and made a point to look at their merch. They had some really cool art and posters featuring something called Crystalline. Whatever that is actually their upcoming new visual novel that they're currently working on, which I will definitely take a look at it once it's released, and if it looks cool and awesome, I might actually play it as well, because if it's anything like this one, then it's gonna be awesome, of course.
It's almost time for the Amelie panel. Let's go.
Who the hell is Amelie, though? Lead the way. The Amelie panel's already mostly full by the time we show up, but we still managed to find decent seats. A few minutes later, the crowd erupts into cheers and applause as Amelie walks out. She smiles and waves as she takes her seat at the solo panel.
Hello, everyone.
Ooh, who's that? Amelie? The panel begins, and she talks about what she has planned, including which songs will be getting covered and how songs are created. Judging by the rapt attention of the audience, everyone seems to be enjoying the discussion. Soon, it comes time for the Q&A section of our panel. A line forms in front of a mic to ask her questions.
What's your favorite cover to have worked on?
The ones that are the most challenging are usually my favorite. It's fun to try something new.
Give a goddamn title of a song then! The guy grins as the next person steps up to the microphone. Like, that was such a vague answer. She said the ones that are like the bigger, most of a challenge or something, right? Or what was it?
The ones that are the
most challenging, right? Most challenging. How do we know which one was the most challenging for you, girl?
Do you have any singing tips?
Get a better voice. Annalie nods and looks determined.
Practice and practice. And then when you think you've done enough, practice some more. It's a simple and boring answer, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, practice makes perfect. Because we only see the end result, it's easy to forget that each video includes hours of practice and work. The audience mumbles in agreement as another person reaches for the mic.
Why are your lyrics different from the source translations?
'Cause translations suck! Uh-oh, it's that guy from the MeTube comments. The rest of the audience glares at him, but Amelie smiles politely.
Well, direct translations never fit the meter of the song,
Yep.
so they have to be altered slightly to fit and rhyme and flow.
That's the weird thing about songs, right? Because you have like these specific notes and whatnot, and indeed the rhythm and flow. It's like you can't have a literal translation of a song and then have an English cover and be it in literal translation, right? It just never really fits because some words, like you've probably seen those images somewhere on the internet, right? Where they compare the meaning of a certain word or like the word in different languages. For example, the word tree in English is just tree. It's 4 letters. It's like 1 syllable, right? Is tree actually 1 syllable? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like it's a short word. But in like another specific language, it could actually be a much longer word and multiple syllables rather than one. And that's where it starts to fall apart. And then it's just translation from an original to something else, especially when it's in songs. It's really difficult and will never be a literal translation. This guy doesn't seem content with the answer and rudely hogs the mic. People grumble in irritation, but he ignores them.
Yeah, but I took that language class in high school and used Google Translate, and it was all wrong.
Well, that's your fucking problem. You used Google Translate, you idiot! Amelie continues to smile, although I can tell it's now a little strained.
It's hard if you've never tried it yourself, but if you take a direct translation and try to sing it to the song, you'll hear how awkward it sounds.
Yep. The guy looks like he's about to ask another question. Oh, come on, security, just drag the guy away, please. But one of the security guards reminds everyone of the one question rule. Reluctantly, he yields the mic. Thank God that guy is gone. The next person takes the microphone and smiles broadly.
Do you sing in the shower?
Any remaining tension dissipates as Amelie chuckles.
Yeah, and just as badly as everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, come on, the shower, you know, bad acoustics and everything. Nobody sounds great when they're singing in the shower. We hear a yell from behind us.
Lies.
Both Amelie and the crowd laugh. The rest of the Q&A session continues without incident. Thank God, that guy got probably kicked out of there. There's a collective "aww" as Amelie concludes her panel, and everyone rushes to get her autograph. The line is so long, it stretches out into the hall. Dang, she must be pretty popular, I guess. Still don't know who the hell that is. Do you want to go get a signature?
If it's not too much trouble, I think I'd like that.
Sure, we can do that. Let's wait an hour in line for 2 seconds of her scribbling her name down. Sure, no problem. Sure thing. We wait patiently in line. Eventually, 2 hours later, it's Kaori's turn.
Hey,
Hello, Amelie. Kaori blushes and stumbles to get her words out.
hi. Could I get your autograph?
Well, she said could, like Amelie's gonna say, no, you can't. Well, thanks for waiting. Bye-bye.
Of course. Who should I make it out to?
Kaori, please.
That's Kaori. Amelie nods and scribbles onto a post-it. Wouldn't that just be the worst? If you like, your idol or whatever, you ask for autograph and you actually misspell your name?
All right, here you go.
Kaori grabs the poster and smiles. We take a quick photo with Amelie and walk out to the hall. The line doesn't seem to have shortened any.